Recording in progress. Okay, thank you, Zoom. All right, welcome everyone to our fourth Ambassador Roundtable. Really exciting stuff we have. Let me make sure I'm sharing the right screen. Boop, 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 boop. All right, demystifying the mentee experience on ADPList. This is a topic we all care about, obviously, because we are ambassadors. Let's get this show on the road. Event guidelines before we dive in. This event, as you saw, is going to be recorded. Use the chat for Q&A and general commentary. Actually, for Q&A, we have a Slido, and that link's going to be coming soon. You could drop your questions in there. Obviously, no hate speech, no discriminatory behavior, please. Let's all be cool. We're all friends here. And please, if you have takeaways, post them on social media, tagging ADPList and hashtag amazing together, because we are amazing together. And our agenda for today, we're going to do a little bit of an intro, and then we're also going to do a photo. Spoiler alert, this is slide 2. We're going to take a group picture on slide 5. So you got around like 3 slides to get yourself gutsied up and ready to go. And then we're going to dive right into the presentations. And then we're going to do Q&A, and we're going to discuss with the audience, with y'all. And you can drop in your questions now when the Slido link goes into the chat. And then you can also vote up questions, and you can also see if your question's already been asked. It's really convenient having it that way. So yes, great to meet you all. My name is Amber KB Wilson. I am in Oakland, California. I'm a part of the spring cohort of the ADPList Venture Initiative Ambassador team. And I'm a UX UI product designer, and I'm a Scorpio. And I like cats and I like dogs. And we have Lizzie, Hannah, Rata, and you'll be meeting them as they present, all of them fantastic ambassadors from the summer and spring cohort, and also different parts of the world. So here's that Slido that I had talked about previously. Let me admit some people here. So go to slido.com, slido.com, type in the number 880, or you can use that QR code, or there's potentially a link being dropped in the chat. You can also do it that way. And I'm going to go and move on over here. Boo, boo, boo. Look at that. The reveal, slido.com 880. So this is just our way to kind of get to know you a little bit more. It'd be great to see, like, you know, where you're all at. And that'll help us also when we get to Q&A to have that in mind. So first question. Oh, what? Where'd you go? What's happening? Where'd it go? Uh-oh, give me just a moment. Technical difficulties here. Let me actually stop sharing. I apologize for that. What happened to my screen? And there it goes now that I've stopped sharing. Well, I see the votes coming in, or not the votes, the results coming in. Oh, now it's going to be a big reveal. Okay, cool. Sharing again. Don't disappear, please. That's crazy. All right, so none yet. Wow, 54%, 1 to 2, 32%, 3 to 5, 4%, 4%, 3%. Oh, we're changing around. Awesome. You know, this is great. This event is for y'all. So those of you, the 57% who have not met with ADPList mentors yet, that's perfect. You're in exactly the right place. You are who we have created this presentation for, because we're trying to help y'all out, kind of navigate this new territory. So we hope that this is really helpful for you. And, you know, if there's some gaps or whatever, ask that question. We will get to it at the end. And then also connect with us if you just want to chat and say, hey, I don't know, hey, like we can be like your stepping stone. That's totally fine. All right, and then we have one more question. And oh my God, it just keeps coming in. I love it. How do you currently use or plan to use ADPList? Why does this happen to me? I don't understand. All right, let me do a hard reset again. Stop share, please. Sharing again. Technology is my friend. Technology is my friend. Technology is my friend. How do you currently use or plan to use ADPList? And you can choose multiple choice here. There's a lot of ways you can use it. ADPList has this really awesome feature now where you can actually navigate topics on what you can discuss. And it was actually helpful for me because there were some topics that I was like, oh, I didn't know that I can discuss this with a mentor. So it's really helpful and really fun to kind of find your mentor that way. So yeah, discussing career trajectories, portfolio review, always a good one. Interview prep. Oh my God. Okay, small story. I had some interviews coming up and I did like a marathon of mentor meetings where I was like, I'm really nervous. Can I just like meet with all of you? And I just had meeting after meeting after meeting, and it was really helpful. And it was basically like a crash course in interview prep, learning about careers, life advice, making new friends. I think that is just good all around. Every new mentor you meet is a new friend. Advice for my current role, design leadership, promotion advice. Yeah, so all of these things are super valid and they're great, great topics to discuss. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and stop sharing. I'm gonna bring my Figma back up. Hopefully it doesn't go dark again. Oh, picture time. I'm sorry I'm talking really fast. There's just so much content I wanna get to. All right, it's time. It's slide number 5. You know what that means. It means open your cameras if you are comfortable. Let me change the view to gallery. We have about 4 cameras. I see everybody getting gussied up. I love it. I love it. You're looking fabulous. Everybody's looking fabulous. Jason, love Baby Yoda. Apparently Baby Yoda has a name, but I haven't watched his second season yet. So no spoilers. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and do the first screen. Let me make sure I'm looking pretty. All right, 3, 2, 1. Okay, we get that one. Boop-a-doo. Make sure I save it, because that'd be tragic if it didn't save. All right, and then the second screen. And give me some smiles there. 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Okay. Thank you all so much for your patience. We always love getting pictures. We love seeing faces. It reminds us, oh my God, look at all the friends that joined us today. Okay, so I'm going to put the view back to speaker. I'm going to share my slides one more time, and then we're going to get this ball rolling. How's that sound? All right, I'm going to hand over the metaphorical, very virtual talking stick to my dear friend, Lizzie. Lizzie, take it away. Lizzie, where you go? I think
this topic.
Oh, there you are, Lizzie.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay.
Perfect.
Cool. All right, I'll dive in. Hi guys, my name is Lizzie. I'm a UX designer. I just started. Well, I'm starting my role at UX at Santander Bank on Monday. So I successfully made a career change as of 2 weeks ago. And for the past 9 months, I was teaching myself UX, and truly I wouldn't have been able to do so successfully without the help of mentorship, specifically from ADPList mentors. So I'm really happy to share some of the things that I've learned along the way with you guys, so you guys could build your own careers and strong mentorships. So let me move. Okay, so before we dive in, I think it's important to define what mentorships are. So in the design space, it's generally guidance provided by people that are more expert in the design space. And what's important is that it is a two-way street relationship. So mentor-mentee relationship. It's incredible career and personal growth opportunities for both. I thought it was important to highlight this because a lot of times when people come to ask me, like, what do you think about mentorships and like how do you approach them? Their concern is that they feel like they're burdening mentors with their time, but I really want to emphasize that mentors really love engaging with mentees and helping build that relationship too. Another question I get a lot too is whether or not mentorships are casual or formal. It is just a relationship, as is like a friendship. And so you set the tone, whether you want it to be casual or formal. And then the next step is to just get excited. I think, especially if you're not exposed to any sort of mentorships previous, it's okay to feel nervous and unsure how to approach your first mentorship call. But that's okay. That's what makes you human. You're not robotic. It's good to know that mentors are human also, meaning that they are understanding and they are compassionate. So they'll be patient with you and help ease your nerves during your first call as well. And just like anything in life, right, like riding a bike, with time and practice, it will get easier and it'll just get more fun and more rewarding. So what you should do before your call, especially, is to take some time and reflect on what are some goals of yours, short term and long term. And in doing so, it will provide some direction when you set up phone calls with mentors, and it'll just give you a direction on how you want to drive each session. So I've listed some examples of short term and long term goals. Some short term goals are practicing mock interviews. Let's say you have a job interview coming up. This would be a really great opportunity for you to just schedule some time with a mentor, let them know that this is your intent, and just get some practice and feedback from that session. Or you could be working on your portfolio, and this would also be a great way to get some feedback from someone more expert in the space. Now, some long-term goals are advancing your career, some more just general advice on that. Or if you want to develop some skills like how to work well in a cross-functional team, you can ask advice from your mentors on that as well. What's important to do is to also sit down those goals that you've listed out and select one goal to start with. And then if you're feeling a little bit ambitious, okay, 2 goals. And the reason is because you want to be very mindful of the time allotted. So typically sessions on ADPList will allow for 30 minutes to an hour. And so depending on the time that you set, you want to be sure that the goals that you set will be realistically achievable for that phone call. So sorry, I think Google's talking around. But for example, if you want to do a mock interview, that can take up to 30 minutes. So it wouldn't be realistic if you wanted to run through your portfolio with your mentor and then also do a mock interview. That should be 2 independent calls. What I really like to do, because I am an over preparer, is to come prepared. So that means having your questions ready, having your portfolio on deck before you even start your phone call, so that you're not spending a few minutes saying just a minute and then trying to rummage through like your email or your notes as a way to optimize time. And in line with optimizing your time with your mentor and allow your mentor to optimize time with you, you can do you both a solid and just brief yourself on your mentor and their background. And you can do this by looking up on adplist.org. When you go to the bio, there is a space where you could see their description of the job history, what they're interested in, what specialties they're focused on, and in doing so, you're able to get a little bit more knowledge to inform your questions, how you want to drive the conversation, but most importantly, that you're not spending time like 5 minutes to ask them questions that you can already find on LinkedIn or the ADPList bio, so that, again, you can just get to your goals. And then you are ready. So, get pumped, relax. I read this psychology concept about easing your nervousness when you're about to jump on like an interview or like a mentorship call. So when you're doing something that makes you happy, like watching TikTok or doing jumping jacks or watching cat videos like Amber likes to do, that will really just bring your blood pressure lower, and you'll present yourself more relaxed and happy. And then again, just know that ADPList mentors are in this voluntarily, so they want to meet you, and they're human too. And yeah, I'm really excited to pass the virtual baton over to Hannah now to talk about what to do during the call.
Thanks, Lizzie. So hi, everyone. My name is Hannah, and I am currently a product designer at Prudential. And like, like Lizzie, I kind of recently transitioned into a UX role. I did a boot camp. I did GA, finished that last January, and I've been in the role I'm in currently for about 4 months now. So I'm relatively still new, but for all the people who haven't signed up for any mentorship calls yet, it's such an amazing opportunity because, like Lizzie said, meeting with the mentors was such an integral part to preparing myself to be ready for these roles and to help with portfolio reviews and interviewing, all that good stuff. So with that said, I'm going to talk a little bit about tips and tricks during your call. So of course, first thing first, just some virtual etiquette, things like arriving on time, maintaining a professional appearance, and of course, testing technology, your camera, microphone. Another really important thing too to note is that just double check to see where you're going to be meeting with your mentor virtually, because sometimes they'll set it up through like Google or Zoom or some other link. So just double check you have the right links. And then of course, try to be in a quiet location so that you can really focus on the conversation at hand. And like Lizzie mentioned before, it's a really good idea to have any sort of materials ready, up and ready to go. So you're not trying to load your website and sitting there awkwardly when things are technically not running as fast as you'd like them to be. But then when it comes to the actual call, of course, reduce distractions and close out unnecessary tabs. Now, and it's so easy, and I understand getting distracted by a lot of notifications or trying to multitask, but definitely since your call time is usually pretty short, they're around 30 minutes or so, you want to make sure that you can stay on task and get what you're looking to get out of the call with your mentor. And then another thing during the actual conversation, like Lizzie mentioned before, I think it's so important to just provide some sort of context for your mentor for what you're looking for in the call. It's really up to you to lead the conversation and let them know like what your goals are, what you're looking to get out of the conversation. Is it, portfolio review, just career advice in general? And also, if you're feeling a little bit shy or awkward, and coming from a very shy person myself, I find it very helpful to have some sort of set agenda laid out. It doesn't have to be super duper fancy, but a few talking points so that if you get a little bit flustered, you can look at your list and be like, oh, right, that's what I wanted to ask them. And then another thing too, Lizzie kind of mentioned it, but be intentional with the questions that you're asking, going back to having an understanding of what your mentor's background is, because of course some mentors can provide better feedback based on their own expertise. So just make sure that your questions are aligned with what they know best, and other things too, like don't ask questions that you could just Google, because also too, you could be utilizing your time better with this specific person. And then, of course, too, I think it's really important just in life in general, and especially with UX being such an iterative process, to be open and embrace feedback and really leave your ego at the door. Because I remember like when I first finished my boot camp, my portfolio was in pretty rough shape. So I went on a lot of calls with a lot of different mentors to get that portfolio feedback. And the great thing about the mentors on ADPList is that they are going to be straight with you. They're going to be honest and tell you what or tips and things that you can do to improve. So it's important to be just open to new perspectives and not take any of their critiquing too personally, because at the end of the day, they want to help you. And just, when you're beginning to end your call, of course, overall, it's good to be time conscious and make sure that, of course, simple things like expressing gratitude and then discussing any next possible steps, because you want to, if the vibe is right, you want to continue on that mentor-mentee relationship and apply any sort of advice that they may give you. So now I'm going to hand it off to Rata, who's going to talk a little bit more about what sort of next steps can you do after your call.
Yeah, so good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. My name is Lata. I'm from Bangkok, Thailand. So now, can you hear me, right? God, I'm so excited to talk for today. Okay.
Yeah.
So now I'm an experience designer consultant with ThoughtWorks SEA and currently ambassador with everyone here. And I want to share after the call what should happening. But before that, I would like to say 5 more to go. I will reach to 100 mentor on ADPList, as you can see from my profile. Now I have 95 mentor. I would glad to hear from all of you here or your friends, your networking. Share to me, chat to my LinkedIn, send a message and recommend 5 more mentor to me. Who gonna be the 100 mentor? Don't recommend Felix because I already talked with him already. It's like, so don't not Felix anymore. Like other people that give send message to me. Yeah, I would like to know from everyone here. And also, if you have any questions about mentor, ask me. I love all the questions. Okay, so yes, let's talk about what should to do after the call. First of all, it's easy to do appreciate your mentor. Make sure to leave a review because they appreciate that. Why I say that? This one is from my example, after right away or 1 or 2 days, when it's remind me oh, I forgot to give them a review because they'll be here to support us. We learn from them, right? We appreciate their time that to be here to support us. So why we can give it to them a small thing, just review it to them, right? So don't forget to do that. I encourage everyone to give a review to the mentor. Next, after the call, what you should do, articulate the short-term and long-term goals, like the Lizzie say about short-term or long-term goal. It should be short-term or long-term. You will know at the right time when you have conversation with the mentor, right? Is your conversation is flow well? Is it good? Medium rare, it's not steak. Yeah, it's kind of like that. You will know among the call. So you need to articulate about the call and think it should be good, short or long. After that, I would say either short or long term. First of all, you need to set the clear goal. Why I say that? Please tell your mentor what you want to go in this industry. You want to be visual designer, interaction design, team management. You want to become a researcher, or you want to learn about leadership. Tell them what you want, and then they can prepare for you. They can find what kind of support they can support to you. That kind of thing. So help them to know more about you. And the second thing, continue with a follow-up call. For example, if I have a call with Felix, I feel, oh my God, Felix is so amazing. I want to learn from him so much. How can I do that? Exactly, easily. Just ask him right away on the call. Felix, I really enjoy talking with you and learn from you. May I have a call with you again in the next month? To check out with my life, how my life's going on, how my job, that kind of thing, ask them right away. I would say 99.99%, they will say yes to you, but the time it depends of the mentor, it depends of you, maybe 2 weeks per time, 1 time per month, 1 time per 2 months. It depends on how you negotiate, how you discussions. And next, I talk too much, I know, I swear. Be mindful of their availability, respect their time and the boundary. I said to you, they are here to support us. For example, why I say that? When the mentor didn't show up, we had some feeling, right? They had the same feeling like us. When we not show up, they have the same feeling when we feel. So please respect their time. They are here to support us, and we are here to learn from each other as well. And next one, giving, not just getting. Why say that? Like all the time, I would like to say we not learn from the mentor, but also the mentor learn from us. What is the mentor learn from us? It's like I learned from the mentor how to become a UX researcher, how I use Figma, how I present a portfolio. But maybe mentor want to know how to cook Thai food, how to do CrossFit, how to do yoga, how like I do my activity that they would like to do as well. Teach them some, like share your technique, share some your technique. That kind of thing. It's gonna help like both of us, right? Not just taking from them, but give it to them as well. The next one, discuss more than just professional career advice. Why say that? Like, don't just have the call and asking Felix, ask like the mentors about, oh, what should I do for my job interview, my job search, about my networking, how I can find a job. Ask him about his personal life, what he like to do a part of design team, what he like to do a part of ADPList, what kind of activity he like to do, what kind of food he like to eat, that's kind of thing. What movie he like to see, to watch like during the weekend. You know, like at the end of the day, we are human. We need to get to know more about people. Do they have cats, dog? What is the name? Like shares among the story. But please be mindful again. We have the boundary, right? If we should not like cross the boundary, and like because like we need to respect the privacy of everyone as well. Like I would say, treat your mentor like your friends. Like most of mentor I talk with, they don't think that I'm a mentee. They said, oh, Rata, my friend, Rata is my close friend. They like to say that, like, yeah. So treat them like your friends. Oh my God. Am I stop right now? Okay, the last slide. I would like to say a great mentor and mentee relationship is a two-way street. Why I say that? It's like it's not only when I learn from the mentor, and if the mentor said, okay, Rata, you should do this, you should do that. And if I just ignore all of the feedback, all of the recommendations, so something is not happening, right? For example, if I ask the mentor, how can I do the portfolio presentation with this company XYZ? And he told me, okay, Rata, you should do this, that, 1, 2, 3. And then I ignore, I didn't do it. What's gonna happen? Nothing happened, right? So the what, like all the time, I call it experiments. Every time the mentor told me to do something, and I think it's good for this job interview. So I will adapt. I will put that kind of technique on my interview, and let's see what is happening. Because if I'm not trying to do, I will not know the result, what is happening, right? It's gonna be 0. But if I do that, I'm gonna know, right? Oh, like Felix said that, and it's 100% like I got a job just because of he recommend. That's kind of thing. Like just do it. Don't think too much. You know, like when we think too much, it's gonna stop you to do something. So that's why I would like to say mentors and mentee is always two-way street, like two-way communications. Yeah, that's all the thing I would like to share. Thank you so much.
Oh my God, Rata! People be blown up in the comment section. We love you. We love you so much. I love you.
It's
Oh my
mean
God.
I love you, okay? This one is mean I love you in my country, but and then it's all mean like I love all of you, okay? It don't have the bad meaning. Yeah.
Oh, we should have
Thank
done
you.
this for the photo. Oh my God, that was amazing. Thank you so much all the speakers, Rata, Hannah, and Lizzie. This was amazing. I'm so excited. We got a lot of great questions too. And congratulations on almost 100, by the way. You have to let us know when that happens. There needs to be like a party or something. And that's such a good example of it's not just quantity mentorship, it's quality mentorship, because you're actually taking the time to cultivate those relationships. So that's amazing. Okay, awesome. So before we get to Q&A, so top tips, takeaway time. What this slide is, take a screenshot of it. This is kind of like your little takeaway, you know, I know everybody likes to take screenshots. We all put our top tips in here. And I want to call out something that I believe in so dearly. And there's a lot of questions that reflect this. It's never too early to learn something new, and it's also never too late to learn something new. A lot of the questions, there's a lot of great questions about like just booking that first call and how to be ready. Look, I'll just say this right now, it's never too early. You just have to be interested. Like that's like a good starting point, right? If you're not interested, then like why are you doing it? We're all here because we're interested in this, because we love it, we're passionate about it, and we want to learn. So all right, take screenshot, 3, 2, 1. All right, so connect with us Our lovely chat guardians, our lovely chat support have been dropping links in the chat. So please grab those up while you can and add us on our social media. Follow us on our social media. We want to hear from you. We want to keep this conversation going. This is not just a one and done. This is a journey, and this is the start of our journey. And that's a beautiful thing. Also join us at the ADPList Design Community Group. A lot of fun stuff going on over there. We want to also have the conversation going on there. We can have discussions, and it could be a whole thing. Lots of fun. And then, of course, we do this monthly. We do it towards roughly the beginning of the month. So join us next month for another fabulous topic that the ambassadors are going to share with you all. And now it's time. Ask us anything. I'm going to stop sharing my screen so we can see each other's faces, because that's always fun. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up the questions and ask the speakers to come off mute. And then I'm going to go ahead and ask them. Here we go. Are we ready, speakers? Oh, we're ready. We were born ready for this. All right, so the first one that came in, shout out Oscar. Thank you for your first question. You dropped it in there right away. Love it. Hey guys, love the energy. I'm from Houston, Texas. Hello. Where can I go for hackathons for Figma or Adobe XD? What are some conferences you recommend going to in UX? Ooh, that's a whole conversation right there. I will quickly say on hackathons, for me, I'm like crazy about hackathons. I've taken a break because like I recently won one, and I'm like, I want to just end on a high for right now and just like ride this out for a bit. But there's really no like one place that I know of. There's DevPost. I think those are like I think those are good. I haven't done one from there, but I know friends who have, Winnie. But there's like no one place to go. Just stock LinkedIn, stock Eventbrite, stock Meetup. You just kind of have to look around for those. I don't know about Adobe XD. I hand it off to my speakers if y'all have any feedback on that. On hackathons or conferences also. Oh, there's so many. There's a lot. And a lot of them are virtual. Oh, a hackathon is a event usually over a weekend or at least a set period of time where you work with a team. It's great experience to work cross-functionally or just to work in a collaborative space. You don't necessarily get that in a boot camp. It depends on the boot camp. But hackathons are great for two reasons: that collaboration piece and also prioritization. Because if you got 2 days to do an entire product, you don't have time to do everything. So it's a great way to test yourself to see how quickly you can pivot. Like, all right, we got to prioritize this, but we can't do an empathy map because we don't have time. Like, it's a really good skill that you don't necessarily get to practice usually. Sometime for a hackathon, you usually have a developer on the team that actually there's code involved. I would look at protothons. Those are really good events. There's not as many of them. I'm hoping that more come about. And the end goal of that is a prototype, hence protothon. And that's something we can do. There's not usually a developer involved, but it depends on the event. Protons, cool. Yeah. Speakers, do you have anything to add on that?
Yeah, I can add to Oscar. I would say like, oh, sorry, Hannah, you can first.
I was just gonna say, I personally haven't done a hackathon yet, but as far as events go and conferences go, I just see so much from like social media outlets, and especially to even just LinkedIn. And the more you engage on LinkedIn, the more sort of possible like events and conferences you're going to see from that. So yes, but sorry, I haven't done a hackathon, so I can't guide you on that.
Yeah, so I would add on about like the hackathons or any event that you want to join, because be mindful about the time. It takes about 1 week or 2 weeks. And before you join, just think ahead, like what is the output you will get from this hackathon? Like, is it help you to get more network, like to get more connections? Like what kind of the skill you will get from this? Okay, so yeah, so I think two things is really important. They take a lot of time, like 1 week or 2 weeks in the same time. Like because I've been in Adobe XD for 2 weeks, it took a lot of time to do like, and also nowadays we do the online workshop. So it's like 2 hours per day, like continue for 2 weeks. That's kind of thing, like prepare your schedule ahead. But I would say it's good to know more people, how other designers across of the world, how they work, like get to know more about friends. So it's good opportunity, but just check your time. Yeah. Thank you, Amber.
Awesome. All right. So moving on to, thank you, Oscar, so much for that question. So we have one, well, we have two from Anonymous that I'm going to kind of like squish together because I feel like they're going to have roughly the same answer. So from Anonymous, when is the right time to book a mentor? I self-study and I'm still in the beginning of the whole journey. Thank you. And also from another Anonymous, as an aspiring UX designer and not ready with a portfolio, is setting agenda and sharing LinkedIn profile enough before booking a call? And this goes back to what I had said earlier, where it's like not too early. If you are interested, have an informational meeting, like just book, there's a designer who you're like, oh, I want to be you when I grow up. And I always say that, like, how do I be you? Just ask them like, hey, I'm brand new to the field. I don't have a portfolio. I I still don't have my portfolio ready. I have like a placeholder portfolio. To this day, I still don't have mine up. I'm still working on it. But you don't need a portfolio. All you need to do is just give them context, let them know, hey, I'm starting my journey. I'd love to discuss what you do every day or what your job is. I want to be a UX designer. And I just want to learn more about this field. And that is a perfectly valid reason to speak with a mentor. In fact, a lot of the times it's really fun, just to kind of talk about your journey, from a mentor's perspective, to talk about your journey. Like, this is how I ended up here. So yeah, the right time to book with a mentor now. If you are interested in booking with a mentor, then it's time to book with a mentor. If you're self-study, even more of a reason. In fact, I would recommend finding a mentor who has done self-study if you can. Ready with a portfolio, setting an agenda. I mean, yeah, you should set an agenda. It's always good to set an agenda, and then you can share your LinkedIn profile because then they can, do their due diligence and stuff. Or I just think that you're ready to go. I think you're ready to go. Speakers, what do you think?
Congrats on making the bold decision to teach yourself. Coming from that background, I know it's really hard. And what's really helped me was having a support group of mentors that also taught themselves. It kind of goes back to like the imposter syndrome, but just like knowing that there's someone that has made it to the quote unquote other side after doing what you've been doing was tremendously helpful to me. And just off of what, Amber has been saying, that mentorship should be something that, that's cultivated and nurtured. And especially if you're thinking about building a long-term mentorship relationship, not just like a one session sort of deal, it's actually really nice to grow with your mentor and let your mentor help you, help them like grow you, I guess. It's a journey, and it's not like you have to meet them at like specific milestones, but just checking in with them too and just seeing them as a support, and knowing that they potentially would want that too. It would just be something to consider.
Nice.
Yes, so can I add on more? Yeah. So I would say when you want to book a call, like when you have doubt, because I have experience, like I'm self-study, I transition my career as well. Like when you study and you think that, oh, what is this? What is this mean? What is this for? Like, then you book a call with a mentor right away. When you have doubt on what you are studying right now, don't be shy. Everyone have the day, like, please remember, everyone have the day one. You will not know today, you don't know. It doesn't mean the next 3 months you will not know this kind of thing, right? You have improvement day by day, step by step. So like, please remind everyone have the day one. Don't be shy to ask the question. It's fine. Only one-on-one, only you and the mentor in the call. So why not just book a call on ADPList or yeah. So when you have doubt, just book a call right away. Don't be shy and don't scare to do that. Yeah, because I would say I'm from Thailand and my English is not my first language. So I need to communicate with mentor all around the world in English. Even I would say like it's not my first language, right? But I need to like step forward or like cross the obstacle and have confidence to communicate with the mentor, because I see like, oh, what should I get from the call, right? I can learn more from them. I don't know, but the mentor know, so they can help me as well. So yeah, book a call right now.
Book a call.
To add on to Rata, I think it's like you said, it's good to increase your confidence when speaking to your mentor and just really planting that seed too. And especially if you're studying alone or in a boot camp, just getting more familiar with communicating with fellow designers, I feel like is so important, because once you land your first role, you are going to be constantly, having to communicate and storytell and advocate for your designs with a lot of different people. So I think by planting that seed now, even if you might not have like an official portfolio up and ready yet, is a great way to just build on that confidence and get better at articulating your passions and design thoughts.
Oh my God, that's a great point, Hannah. Thank you for sharing. I mean, great points all around. Just one last piggyback. That's another reason that I love doing ADPList and meeting with mentors, is because like at the beginning of my journey, I was like, I don't know how to say some of these things. Like shop talk. I actually thought that was going to be a problem for me. Like, if I can't speak the shop talk, I don't know. And like, honestly, I just learned through osmosis, like just speak with other designers, and so you kind of get that, like what Hannah was saying, that storytelling aspect, and just kind of absorbing their how they're talking about design and how they're critiquing design and stuff like that. And what better place, actually, now that I think about it, to start your journey than with a mentor who can hey, I'm starting my journey. Where's my first, like, what should my trajectory be? And they can give you like some pretty good guidance on like, all right, if you're brand new, like maybe read this book, or, I would recommend doing this go look at this YouTube channel, or like, work on this UI challenge, whatever. It's actually a great place to start with a mentor, because they can set you up for success instead of like months down the road. And you're like, oh, I wish I'd known this months ago, Okay, we have so many questions. All right, so I'm going to move on to the next one. So from Anonymous, wait, am I reading this? Oh, congrats, Lizzie. There are so many great mentors on ADPList. True that. Curious if you met with as many as you could, or built a relationship and met with a few mentors.
Can you repeat that again?
I can. So curious if you've met with as many mentors as you could, or you've built a relationship and met with a few. So it sounds like a kind of quantity versus quality thing, but as Rata has proven to all of us, you can have both.
Okay, yeah, thank you. Yeah, I wanted to take a moment when you were repeating the question to like think about this. Okay, so I actually wanted to speak to this in my presentations, but I wanted to keep it brief. Okay, so
Nice.
It sounds kind of funny, but the way that I approached my mentorships was kind of like dating, in the sense that when you're building personal relationships, it is with two people, and it's the same with mentorships. So the way I approached it was I first, went on ADPList, and I was looking out people's bios, and I really wanted to meet with lady designers, for that sort of empowerment, but also that they had the background of teaching themselves UX. And I found a few, and I had mentorship calls where I really hit it off with my mentors, and I was like, wow, like at the end, I personally shared with them that, my heart feels like it's melting, because in that stage of my journey, it was the very beginning, I was so scared. And even with my friend group, like I didn't have anyone that was in the design space, let alone UX design. So for me, it was a really powerful thing. And I think just being able to like catch that vibe and articulating that, I was able to really build cool mentorships that I have today. And I could confidently say that without them, that like I would not have been able to like land this job or just grow in the ways I have as a designer and personally. But I also want to speak to like the mentors that, you might not vibe as strongly with. I think that's okay. And it's even great growing experiences, because I think, you will get value in any situation. if you intend to. So I think it's, it's good to make sure that you cast your net wide, but then also just be mindful and be in tune with yourself of like, what sort of mentor are you looking for? Because at the end of the day, like I mentioned in my slides, like they are humans too. And like Rata said, like, they see her as friends, and mentorships don't have to be so cookie cutter formal. They can be really awesome budding relationships, mentorships. So that's my answer.
Beautifully articulated. I love it. Thank you. I don't know if anybody else wants to speak to that. I mean, all I can say is choose your own adventure. You can do that thing where you just meet with as many as you can just to, practice, getting that breadth of exposure or whatever you call it. And then use that, like, if you want, you can just hone in on those few mentors where like, oh yeah, these ones really like, I feel good about this. Or you can, you do whatever you want, choose your own adventure. Hannah, Rata, did you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, I would say maybe people wonder about or curious about why I need to talk with 95 mentor. I will tell you why. It's not about the number. All the time when I have a job interview, for example, if I'm gonna have a job interview with US company, so I need to know like the mentor model, not the mental health, mentor model, right? We call mentor model about like the US culture, what they like to do. For example, if I have to interview with the company in New York, like what the New York style, they have the specific area, like in New York and in LA is totally different. Like I need to know that who is gonna interview me on that day. I need to check is females or the males, like what they like to see, like during like the interview, the female interview me, what it should look like. So that's why I book a lot of call with specific mentor. Like I live in Thailand, so when I have the interview with Singaporean people, so I need to know like what the Singaporean people they think about us. Like either they are female, what it should look like in the interview. Everything I need to learn. Like it's like we do research ahead of them. That's why I talk a lot of with the mentor. And when that's why it's come to 95 mentor, I would say that. And yeah, it's right when we got all the feedback, everyone will ask me like, which one you take it to improve your portfolio or improve your skill. I would say you are the one to respond for this one. Like when the mentor give you the feedback, so you need to think like, oh, this feedback is suitable for this job interview or not, because like the portfolio is different portfolio to apply for different company as well. So it's your job to like articulate all the feedback that you got from the mentor, and it depends on the job that you apply. So that's why I would say all the time when I'm gonna have a job interview, I like to speak with a lot of mentor, because I need to know exactly what kind of mentor model of this kind of the people, this kind of nationality and their culture. Because believe it or not, at the end of the day, how you make them like you is a key important thing. Like maybe they have a good persons more than us, but they like us. So everything, even is minor mistake, you say, oh, Lata is she has a good potential, she gonna like have a lot of improvement. Just let her be in the company, because just because they like me, So like, don't forget that thing. Yeah. No
Awesome.
more.
Oh, you're good. There's this other question that I really love, but I there's a quick one I can answer really quick. So Anonymous asked, do you have any advice on self case studies? I'm currently trying to search on or research on psychology related cases, and I'm a bit lost in the progress. Just really quickly, meet with a mentor. That's a perfect reason to meet with a mentor. Say you're working on a case study, you're doing some research on it, maybe meet with a UX researcher. But that's like a perfect example of, I mean, obviously we could answer it here, but just in terms of, like what you can ask a mentor, that's like an exact right thing that you can ask a mentor. Hey, I'm working on a case study. This is the topic. I need help to me, please. There's this question that I really, really, really love, and I lost it because the thing keeps moving around. So by Jenna, thank you, Jenna. So it was expressed in Lizzie's presentation that mentoring is mutually beneficial. What are some of the benefits or goals that the mentor may have? They get to meet you, which is a prize in itself. And also, I always say this to people who are like unsure about like, oh, I don't want to waste a mentor's time. Think about the last time you mentored someone or taught someone something. It doesn't have to be design or developing or whatever. It could be anything. Like, think of the last time you taught someone how to do something and think about how it made you feel. I don't know about y'all, but whenever I teach someone how to do something, whether that's like cook adobo or teach them how to dance or something, I feel great. It's really fun to teach someone something that you are passionate about. So that's a benefit in itself. And I think that it's easy for us to forget that because, like, oh, I'm taking up someone's time. It's like, no, this is consensual. They're on the platform because they want to be, they want to give back, they want to help. They love design, they love, product, what have you. They do this because they enjoy it. And that is a really, really strong benefit in my belief, because it's fulfilling, it's enriching. So just remember that, they enjoy doing this, and that's a benefit in itself. Like, obviously, it's another benefit that you could say is that mentoring is a skill in itself. So maybe they're trying to like kind of move forward in their career. They need to learn how to manage a little bit better. They need to learn how to mentor a bit better. So this is good practice to do that, just mentoring younger designers. There are a lot of roles in the design field that require that. So this is good practice. But yeah, I love the idea that, like, instilling something in someone, like it's something you care about. I think it's really powerful. Yeah.
Yeah, and just to note too, all of these mentors signed up voluntarily. So I think that also really helps to break down that initial barrier, because it can be sometimes weird or like intimidating or feeling shy just reaching out to someone on LinkedIn or whatever. But at least when you go onto the ADPList platform, you know that these mentors want to be there, like to help you and to meet you. So if you ever have any feelings of doubt, like, oh, I don't want to waste their time, whatever, if they didn't want to be a mentor, they wouldn't have signed up to be a mentor on ADPList. So definitely take advantage of that.
Mm-hmm. Lizzie, did you want to speak to that one?
No, I think it was all covered.
Cool. All right. This is an interesting one. Is there a way to search mentors who have also made career switches based on their previous industry? I don't think there is a way right now that I'm aware of. I think that you will have to leverage your network for that. That's what I would do. I don't know if anybody else has any advice on that. Or you can also reach out to an ambassador who has met with, I don't know, almost 100 mentors, and she can maybe point you in the right direction. You can reach out to ambassadors if you ever like, I need help finding like a specific kind of mentor, and we can try to like guide you and find the right person that's going to fit your specific, like, oh, I came from an office management background. There's value in that, meeting with a mentor who came from that same place.
It looks like Felix said it's now a feature under topics.
Felix, I told Felix, every time he shows up, he has some type of gift to bear. That is Felix for you. Every time he comes, he's got some amazing announcement. Okay, yeah, do what Felix said. Never mind. Ignore. I mean, still reach out to ambassadors because we love talking to y'all, but that's really cool too. All right, I know we have 3 minutes left. I really want to get to, there's like, I'm going to combine a couple of the questions because a lot of them kind of revolve around nurturing meaningful connections, that authentic kind of like friendship that, Rata had been talking about. So to kind of like combine all those, like, what are ways to, get down to business, do the learning, do the education, but also maintain like a sense of camaraderie, cultivating friendship, being cool with everyone, like, just like having a nice casual conversation, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
I could start. When I join meetings, I like to be very efficient. So like before I join a call, I already have a structure in my head, like, okay, first like 7 minutes, like I just want it to be a personal, like, hey, how's it going? And if it's an ongoing mentorship, then I probably could recall something that they mentioned, like maybe they traveled somewhere and I'm generally interested in that and just like want to just know how they're doing and how that trip was. And then afterwards, we get down to business. And then I'm always mindful of time. So like if we're running up on 30 minutes, I make sure that we have at least 3 to 5 minutes to just like wrap it up. And then in that duration, you could also like make more personal comments too. Like if they mentioned that they are, interviewing, to make sure that I say that before we end the call. Like, at the beginning of the phone call, you mentioned that you're interviewing for XYZ role. I'm really happy for you and I'm wishing you the best of luck. And then the other tip I would say is if you follow them on LinkedIn and they post things, to also engage in their content as well. I think that reciprocity really helps build a strong relationship.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. And also read the room. If they're just kind of all business, and there are there's different types of mentors because they're all different kinds of people. And there are some mentors who are like, let's get down to business, no small talk, we're gonna go to it. And that's fine. A lot of the times, like they wanna help you, and they they're going to ask you about your agenda and stuff. And it's okay. Like sometimes I let them know like, hey, it's okay. I like chatting with you. We can get to my questions, but maybe we'll go down a rabbit hole. This happens a lot with me. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm very talkative. So oftentimes in calls, like we'll go down a rabbit hole and I'll say like, oh no, it's fine. Like, I just like meeting friends. It's, and I think that's really great. And that allows for it to be a little bit more casual. Oh my God, Oscar, stop it, you crazy. But yeah, all right, it's 10 o'clock. Gosh golly, there were so many questions. So we're going to do what we usually do at the end of every roundtable. We're going to take the questions that we weren't able to answer. And then maybe a few of the other ones in case, any of the speakers want to add more to it. We're going to take these questions and put it on that LinkedIn design community group thing. Can someone drop oh, Felix has a secret announcement. Okay, yeah, go to the LinkedIn community group, and then we're going to answer the rest of the questions there, and then we'll engage and we can talk about it. And I'm going to hand it over to Felix. Bring the gifts. What is the secret announcement?
Hey everyone. All right, I'm super excited to be here. So I'm actually just outside like dining and having a little bit of food. So I have one secret announcement, but please don't let it get out of the room. Otherwise, the rest of the team is going to come to me. So starting next week, Monday, early on Monday, some of you and your mentors would have access to the messaging platform on ADPList. So yes, we have heard a lot of your requests that all of you want messaging to be on the platform. We have finally built that into ADPList, so you'll be able to communicate directly with your mentors and mentees on the platform. And so the private access will begin on Monday, and some of you might have the access on that. If not, then you can ask your mentors to give you the access as well. Yeah, so that is the secret announcement. So please don't let it spread out of here. This is a privilege because all of you attended this roundtable. All right, back to you guys.
Thank you, Felix. Oh my God, that's amazing. Pinky promise, don't share this out. It's a secret, even though it's being recorded, but that's okay. Oh my God, that's amazing. All right, so there's another tool. ADPList is always spreading some really good tools that we can use and leverage to maintain and cultivate that authentic relationship. Yeah, like it's not just now, it can extend past the call. So that's great. Oh my God, I'm so happy. That's really awesome. Sorry, it's 10:02. We are going to release you back into the wild and go to the LinkedIn community group, ADPList Design Community, and we will answer the rest of these amazing questions. Yes, Winnie dropped the link in chat, so go ahead and share that. And we will see you on the social medias and stuff. All right, thank you all so much for coming. Yay!
Thank you, everyone.
And thank you, speakers, for speaking. Y'all